distances would leave the pony a bit flat, and she's doing a really good job adjusting her course and style to suit the horse to give him best chance to get in balance.
Yeah, and her technique is super as well.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a great position. She's got a nice, solid lower leg.
Very nice.
One more jump for hopefully our first clear. Let's see how it happens. She has to keep him off of it a little bit that time, but boy, she did a great job.
What a
wonderful
round.
And so she is the leader in the clubhouse, shall we say. And we're going to watch that score very closely. She's on a 49.6. And here we have in the arena now Caitlin Houston-Slazak, Fernhill Chaco Royale. This is our second time seeing Caitlin. She just rode in the last class as well.
Ooh, he was very quick up front over that.
Yeah, looking super.
Oh, just a little long and flat, making that distance down to 5A, like you said. And
she got a 32.5 in the dressage for a tie for 5th place, 15.6 time, 48.1 she comes into. Now she's on a 52.1. And that puts her behind Devin.
Horse is just being a little casual behind.
Yeah. And you know, we were talking with Zach in the last class about the feeling of the horse when you do the cross country prior to the show jumping. The organizers have the option, and in this competition we're doing the show jumping as the third phase, and sometimes the horses feel different when you do it where the cross country is the third phase and the show jumping comes before.
Absolutely. And you know, it's become less common that you show jump last, except for the CCI longs, and so you know, it is in some ways easier to show jump before the cross country. The horses are fresher and everything else, but it's valuable opportunity to be able to show jump last, so you can practice for those longs, get an idea what your horse will feel like show jumping last. You know, with Veronica, I used to remember we had a discussion when I first rode her, and I targeted competitions where the show jumping was last to practice because she was very different doing it last.
Different. Lauren, now we have Michael Nolan coming in on Alston Care's horse and Robin Walker's Bad Moon Rising. And Michael was a 32.3 in dressage for 4th place, 12-time fault, so pretty quick around, and now he's on a 44.3. And we'll just keep an eye on it. As you can see, possibly when the Jumbotron's there, you have the clubhouse leader is Devin Brown on a 49.6.
Michael's obviously...
He actually gave that quite a good ride because he sat really behind the horse, kept it balanced, and kept coming forward. And when the horse sort of held its breath in the last stride, he kept moving, and that's a very important aspect when the horses are just a little spooky.
Absolutely. And he kept moving without letting the reins get long, so he was
that
still supporting
5A
it.
again.
That is the bogey one. Michael, obviously, he's Irish, has had a lot of experience competing a lot of horses, and I think he's been partnered with this one for quite some time. And the horse really misread that there.
Yeah, there goes the second jump, second rail, and that will put him behind Devin. So Devin has moved up 2 places with that lovely clear. He's really carefully placing him at the penultimate oxer there, and now to the last. Yeah, and he gets over that, but that's a shame. So he finishes on a 52.3.
Yeah, Mikey did a you know, you could tell there at the end he was really being responsible for the horse and placing him where he was needed to have the best jump.
Looks like he sneaks behind his leg very quickly.
Exactly.
And it's hard to deal with that. Our top three are only 1.5 points apart. The first of the top three, sitting in third, is Lisa Wallace with riot gear. She comes forward. In dressage, she was second on a 31.4. Great test for her. And then only 10 time faults for a 41.4. Clear round is everything in these top three.
It's gonna be very
And
exciting.
including the time. You get 0.4 for every second over the time. She's very nice at the first super round jump.
Yeah, this is a large arena.
Jumps in nicely. She got the distance, and that really pays dividends to have the horse be able to get up to that distance and back off of the jump, and then to jump round.
Yeah, it's whoop. Now
Oh dear,
she's gotta
oh dear.
move up. Oh, she got there. She
Oh,
actually
she
moved
did a
up enough
great job.
that she was able to wait.
She knew she was behind, so she sent him forward so that she could then have him wait.
Absolutely.
That was a really smart ride.
And she knew as soon as she took off for the Oxford 4 that she was going to have
She
to
was
move
behind.
up, and she reacted immediately on landing.
Now
and
this
that
is when
gave
you
her
don't
the
want to
time.
breathe over. Don't breathe. And here she, lovely at the
Very
Oxford.
nice.
Now let's just keep everything crossed for Elisa Wallace and riot gear for this last line. That's one. Got that.
Very nice.
Whoa, a little bit of rattle on the back pole, but it stayed in the cups. Don't get last fence-itis.
Good
And
job.
she jumps a great clear. Super ride. And she's happy. Look at the gallop on that horse. He looks like he can go cross country again. Well, that's going to put a lot of pressure on the first two placings.
And, you know, she was smart. She's got experience in the arena. And speaking of the time being difficult, this is a large ring where you can a little bit drawn out on the turns. And even if you've got enough pace, waste time on the turns. But you saw, you know, he is a big horse, and she knew she was going to have to wait a bit in the line. So she made up for that by making tight, efficient turns from one line to the next.
So in second place coming into the arena is Rita Dawn's Pioneer Archibald, ridden by Jonathan Halling. He enters the arena just in front of Elisa Wallace on a score of 41.2, 11.6 time at 29.6. So there is 0.2. So he has to jump clear. He also has to jump inside the time.
No pressure, JH.
It's
Coming
not,
right
that is
down
something
to
that
it.
he's very accustomed to, and he's actually, besides being a lovely looking rider and a technically correct rider, he
Very
also
nice.
knows what pressure's all about. Very good.
That's very nice
They're-
ride.
It's funny, they're both horses jumped just ever so slightly left of center. They were straight all the way through, but just left of center, maybe to give them a little bit more room to get around for this skinny that you don't want to breathe over. This thing is just, don't
And
want
it
to touch
draws
it.
the eye down with that
Yeah, it
little
sure does.
box under there. Very
Super
nice.
there.
Now this.
I think the
final
time is good.
line. Yeah, he's been not taking much, had to wait much anywhere, so he's been very
Good there.
efficient.
Super. Lovely.
Now the last.
Hold him.
Oh. Good job.
And a great job. He looks back because he heard it knock, but it didn't fall down. So congratulations, John.
Very well done.
You know, it's a fun sport because all these riders know each other very, very well. They've all been competing against each other for years and years, and yet at the same time, you know, we all finish the day and go have dinner together and you know, have a beer together or whatever. It's really a
Everybody's-
sport full of camaraderie.
Absolutely. Everybody knows how hard this sport is and how much work it takes, so no one kind of begrudges anyone else the successes when they have it, and everybody's very happy. You know, we travel and live together on the circuit, so it's always nice to have the support of your fellow competitors. Now Sarah Kozenplick-Murphy is in the ring, and she's got a lot of pressure on her. John Halling and Elisa did not leave her any room for
She's over
any
the
mistakes.
first on her Devil Munchkin. Yeah, again, very, very super ride there. Got down to the distance and got there early enough to wait it out.
Absolutely. And I believe yesterday we talked about this horse was produced by Sable Geezer. And Sarah's doing a beautiful job with it. You know, it's a very careful horse, and that she knows that she can be brave going down the lines because, as Karen said, he waits when he gets to the base of the fence, and he respects the front rail. She was able to be quite bold to that fence that has come down so easily. She really trusts that this horse is going to hold himself off the fence.
Really good there, really good. And got
Very
down to the
good.
7 early so she could get him to wait against it.
Very nice.
Super ride, and there's your winner. She won the dressage and never looked back. She
That's
had
so
the
great for
best
her.
dressage test of the group. She had the fastest cross country without jump faults, and now we just watched a immaculate show jumping round.
It's so exciting for her, especially with how much work she's put into this event herself. She's really invested in it, and for her to have a win the first time running.
And let's
is
not forget
excellent.
what she did is just threw her heart into